How's you going, boys? Mike here. Welcome back to Grampie's workshop. I think we're going to be able to finish up the parts washer build today. So check this out, see how it works. Okay, so here's my wand pump. You know, these wand pumps that you can get in any kind of hardware store, probably $25, $30. A couple of D-cell batteries, pumps. I'm hoping that this is going to work. And what happened is, on the outlet of this pump there was a soft plastic hose. Where is it? Right here. Right here. This was on the outlet of the pump. Right? And that's nice and flexible. The trouble is it wasn't long enough. So I took that off and I figured all I have to do is get a hose connected on there. A soft, flexible hose. Well, I thought that was going to be an easy job. Turned out it wasn't so easy. I started searching around for something to adapt to this, and that was a major job, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do there. But what I did was, for my boat in the lake I have a little bilge pump, and this little bilge pump has got some hard plastic pipe on it that's, I think it might fit. What I've done is, just to try this, I've cut a piece off the end of this hose, so just let's have a look at that. So there's the piece of hose I cut off, it's about 4 inches long, and I had a fitting that I stuck in there. Now I did that, I don't really know why I did that ahead of time, but I did, and there's a gear clamp for it. So what I'm hoping to do now is to get this hose adapted on here, and as you can see, it doesn't quite fit. It's good that it's smaller though, so I think what I'm going to do is put the heat gun on this, heat that up, try and soften this plastic, or nylon, whatever the heck it is, I don't know. See if I can get that forced on over the outlet of this pump and put the gear clamp on it. So for a heat source, all I have is this old hair dryer, but it works just as good as a heat gun, maybe a little bit longer, but I got time. So what I'm going to do is just heat that up, the heat gun, till that gets kind of soft and pliable. See if I can force it on the outlet of that pump. Oh, I hope this fits. Oh yeah, nothing but lovely. So I'm going to aim that up a little bit if I can. Then I'm going to put this gear clamp on here. It's not like there's a lot of pressure comes out of this pump, so I don't know that the gear clamp is really necessary, but I'd just as soon not have any leaks. Alright, I like it. So we're getting a little closer. So now I've got my outlet of the pump looked after into this fitting. Now all I have to do is get something to fit this fitting that I can string then to a flexible kind of a hose. I'm not even sure what I'm going to use for flexible hose, because most of the stuff I have, the plastic, it's not flexible, it's stiff. Just one sec. See, here's some tubing here, but it's stiff. I mean, it's cold in the shop here, but still, it's stiff. I'm thinking if I had something like this for my washer, as I'm swinging it around like to clean it, it's going to be wobbling right back down to the bucket, and eventually, like, it might compromise this joint here. So I have to, first of all, before I even get that far, I have to now adapt either this hose directly to a soft flexible hose, or come up with something to adapt to this fitting. So here's an old piece of hose from a garden hose, and again, that's stiff, eh? Like, this was a pretty floppy hose. If you get it warm, it does get kind of floppy, but that's stiff. So I don't know that that would work. Another thing I was thinking of though is the hose on the compressor. Like, even in the cold, this is nice and floppy. So this might be a good solution. But I'm not sure. Another idea I had was I got a length of this. It's the coily up hose that you use for pneumatics, right? But again, in the cold, this is, well, it's made to coil up anyways. But I can just imagine if I had that, it would be everywhere but where I want it, right? So I don't think that would be a good idea. Plus, I don't know really how I would adapt that. I'm not sure. Okay, I bit the bullet here. I cut a length of hose off my compressor hose, about, what's that, 3 feet? I managed to, I was looking through my fittings. See, I'm trying to build all this stuff without having to go to town. That's part of the goal. The other thing is it's hard to go to town now with the coronavirus and the way things are in town. You just can't go into a store and shop around. You sort of have to know what you're looking for. And I don't. So anyways, I'm trying to build it from pieces and parts I can find here in the shop. So when I was looking through my plumbing fittings and whatnot, I come up with this. Well, I can't get it out now because I shoved it into the hose. It was a 3/8 barbed male fitting onto a hose adapter. I don't know why I ever bought that, but anyway I did. So that just happened to fit inside the compressor hose. So now, how do I get that connected to my pump? Because that's a female thread, and that's a female thread. But if I had, that's what I was thinking, if I had some sort of fitting that went between the two of them, I'd be golden, right? So I went back to my parts drawer. I searched a lot of different plumbing parts, plastic fittings and all, trying to find combinations. No good. But when I searched through all my plumbing fittings, I found just exactly what I needed. Now I'm thinking I must have bought these parts one time, maybe when I was doing irrigation in the garden, because I had lots of fittings and piping that I had to do out there. But what this is a hose fitting thread on this side, and this is a tapered pipe thread on this side. And just so happens that the tapered pipe thread is what fits into this plastic fitting. Alright, I'll tighten that up a little. Here we go. And this fitting that I got on the hose it's a hose adapter fitting, so that of course threads right on there. Alright, I didn't bother putting a gear clamp on this because that fits there pretty tight, I think. So now I'm lucky because I got this all together with kind of a flexible hose, so I can put that in my barrel, hang that in the cooler to pump the solvent up, or the cleaning solution, to wash my parts. It's a win situation, but that's kind of a big old ugly hole in the end of that, and I'm not sure what the cleaning solution would look like coming out of that. It might not be, you know, enough of a stream to do any good. So I went back looking in my parts drawers, and lo and behold, look at what I found. See that? That is a 1/8 barb fitting on that end, and a 1/4 threaded fitting. Now I don't know why I ever ended up with that, but anyway, thank goodness I did, because as I come to find out, that will fit in there pretty darn good. And I'm just going to push it in there for now and try it. Hopefully it doesn't come out. But anyways, now that gives me a little bit of a nozzle for spraying my parts. So there's my parts washer on my table with the drain going down into the bucket underneath. So I put my one pump in the bucket, right? Bring that out through the back. And then that'll hang right in here, so I can use that for spraying off my parts as I wash them. I think the only thing left to do now to try it is fill it up with some cleaning solution. But I'm going to fill it up with water first, just to try it. Alright, here we go. First of all, it does pump. There's not a real massive stream coming out, but that's probably, might be all you need for washing parts. You know what, that one pump may not be the answer. Okay, here's my other bucket of water. So that, can you hear that? It's draining out the drain back into my main bucket. So now, yes sir, I'll be able to wash parts, rinse them off. So just to show you, there's my hose with what would be anticipated cleaning solution coming out of it. And as the cooler fills up with water, right down there, it comes up to that level and drains out the drain. And that drain comes out and right back down into the barrel. So that's like a continuous loop of pumping the solution out there. And I think that's going to work good. Okay, so I had about maybe 12 liters of water in my bucket. And I had probably 2 liters of water, or 2 liters of spray nine in this container. So I added them all together, plus there was probably 3 liters in here. So I may have maybe total 16, maybe 17 liters of water here, of cleaner now with spray nine and water. So what I'm going to do here is turn on my, I have this piece in here that I want to wash or clean. Turn on my pump and just kind of soak this down. Stick my hose on the side, take my cleaning brush, clean it all and then rinse. So, like spray nine might not be the best cleaning solution there is out there for doing this type of work, but I think it's going to be nice. Just want to say too, this is not a bad height for working at. I was concerned about, you know, being bent over. Well, no, this is a nice height. You can kind of lean on it too if you lean in to clean. I remember at work we had a big parts washer, and it was probably only this high, and you were all the time bent over it. It was a real pain. I didn't even like it a little bit. And the good thing about this is my fluid is draining right back out of the tank, back into the bucket. So I think this is going to be just about ideal for what I want. So we got the parts washer done up pretty good. Just washing up that part there works pretty good. Good height for working, everything. A few little you know, polishing that I have to do to it. I'd like to put a little clip to hold the hose. Also, the pump, it's just a little pump, it doesn't pump very well, and it's having a hard time pushing the solvent, the cleaner solution, from the bottom of the bucket all the way up to the top of the hose, because if you lift the hose up straight, you know, the flow kind of stops. So I'd like to put maybe a little base in the bottom of the cabinet, so I can set my bucket on that base, and that'll raise it up about 6-8 inches. And that'll give the pump a little better chance to pump some cleaning solution up into the cooler to clean the part, like I was just showing you there at the end of it. Anyway, it works good. I like it. It's going to be a good addition to the shop. And now I can get back to doing the engine like I started out to do. Rebuild, strip it down, clean it all up, rebuild it. That's going to be a fun project. Stay tuned for that one. In the meantime, folks, appreciate you watching. Hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. Please leave me some comments. Let me know what you think about this little build of pieces and parts that were otherwise destined for the landfill. And I got them all right here in the shop and around the camp. So, you know, that's good. Repurposing old material. So stay away from that coronavirus. That's no good for anybody. No matter what people tell you, it's just no good for anybody. And stay safe. Wash your hands. We'll talk to you.